right, welcome, kings and queens. Today we're talking The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 1. Before I jump into my review, let me ask y'all a question. And the question stemmed from BravoCon. Candace was on the stage, and an audience member asked a very thoughtful question, in my opinion. She said, would you be open to Monique returning to the show? I want to pose the same question to you all. Would y'all like to see Monique back? Monique Samuels. Yes, no, maybe. And how would that be now that she's taken on this new journey, this self-improvement journey, this self-discovery journey, this overall health and wellness approach, changing her complete eating habits, all of this new stuff, right? Do you think she'd be a good fit for the show? Do you think it'll be we should be a little bit too sensitive and wanting or requiring too much protection for her image? Or would she fall right back into place? What are your thoughts? Would you like to see Monique on the show? That's what I want to know. Well, let's jump into it. For those of you that are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so they are back in full effect, honey. The Real Housewives of Potomac. And I can't really give you a yay or a nay. But I will tell you something. I have my favorites, maybe one or two that I do like. Y'all will be shocked. I have some that I cannot stand. That I'm not. I don't even know if that's nice to say I cannot stand. But there's two of them I am not a fan of, and there's a couple that I'm on the fence. I'm not gonna say it yet. Maybe y'all will be able to figure it out. But I will say this first episode was heavily centered on Robyn. And they opened up the season with Juan and Robyn with this entire saga from last season, like where Robyn literally gave us a cliffhanger, right? Where she literally gave the middle finger to Bravo, a big F you. I'm not talking about it. Boom. It's chestnut checkers. And honey, I guess Bravo must have pulled Robyn back in and said, you will not play in our face. What you not going to do is play in our face. So you need to fix this. In my opinion, Robyn turns a blind eye to the extracurricular activities of one. So I'm really not that interested. If you've been able to establish this hard shell regarding what's going on in your home where you become numb or you've just surrendered to it, what can I say? Robyn remarried the man. After all of the ups, the downs, the rumors, the scandals, she remarried. She remarried him. So, in my opinion, she's very well aware of one's activities. But I do suspect that Robyn wants the other women to shut up and hush about it. And she expects them to sit on her scandal. And when I mean sit on it, close the curtains. Don't talk about my stuff. You don't know anything that's going on about me. But as for you and your house, I got a lot to say. And I really feel like the women came out swinging on this episode. So listen, Robyn ain't giving up nothing on one on this episode. She didn't give up nothing on one at the close of last season. And I don't think she's going to give up anything on one when it comes to reality television, nor do I expect her to. Y'all, they married. We be looking at these people like they just met on a bus stop and they're neighbors. Like, these are married folks through thick and thin, to death do us part. And she's holding fast and furious to that vow, in my opinion. Okay. Aesthetically, I believe that Robyn and Juan are a match made in heaven. They are absolutely beautiful together before they speak, before they talk, and before you can get to the point where you're assessing their energy. So if you're just looking at them across the room, you're going to say that's a beautiful couple. However, I do wish that the chemistry matched the aesthetics. Now, the scene on the sofa that they opened up with, it was given PIP plan. And for those of you that are not familiar with the PIP plan, it's a performance improvement plan that we issue in corporate America. And I think Andy pulled Robyn in and was like, listen, this year has to be different, or this is going to be a a completely different conversation come contract time. Robin, if you don't get in there and give us something to talk about, I do not think we can guarantee you a contract come next season. So please believe that conversation on that sofa was it was definitely given. My boss made me do it. Okay. But we got to give one, or at least I gave one an E for effort because I feel like one even stepped in. He recognized the severity of the situation and he recognized that, hey, listen, if I don't step in and give a little something, something like the rest of these men are, Robin ain't going to get that check. So I feel like one stepped in to help Robin keep that check in the household. And you know what I think was a primary motivator? I'm going to be honest with you. Him losing his job. Had one not lost his job, I don't think he would have gave Robin an ounce of commentary for this show. That's just my personal opinion. Now they start to talk about the scandal, the hotel scandal, where Juan showed up and allegedly he just showed up and swiped his card, honey, like he was Santa Claus. That's the story he's telling, so that's what I'm gonna go with. He showed up to the hotel like Captain Save a Ho, swiped his card and left. Okay, Juan. And then he turned around and on national television on the first episode, season 8, and he compared paying the lady's hotel bill to giving a homeless man on the corner $5 or $10. Y'all, Robin, I'm concerned for Robin. I'm with Giselle. At first, I'm like, Jazelle, stay out of it. But now I'm with Giselle. If Robin has fallen for this foolishness, I'm extremely concerned for Robin. One, really? And then Robin, really? You really think one Dixon showed up in a hotel, swiped his card, and left? Girl, you must be out of your damn mind. Okay. And then Robin turned around and she looked at one and she fixed her lips and she asked her husband, how come you didn't go for it? You're there. You're in a hotel room. You got what I'm assuming is a beautiful lady. How's she look? He goes, have you seen her? They kind of joke about it. Robin, let me tell you something that we say in the South. Pussy ain't got no face. So a lot of you think that a man won't go for it because you don't deem her beautiful. Girl, I'm going to leave that right there. But I want to know, what kind of situationship do you and Warren have going on? Why in the world would you ask your husband? How come he didn't go for it? I'm sorry, Robin. Warren is hoodwinking you. Hoodwinking is where he's completely pulling the rug from underneath your feet. I don't believe Bravo was playing with Robin on this episode at all. Okay, which makes me question or think they must be paying her well. Okay, because if they were giving her pennies, I don't think they would be too concerned with her not giving anything because they're not really giving her anything. But I think Bravo came in and kicked down the door and said, I be damned if you think you're going to sit around here and not earn your check. You know what? Take notes, Carlos King. Take notes. That's how you get the storyline moving, honey. And that's how you get what you need out of these reality television stars. Okay, so let's get into it and really shift into this portion of the episode where Jazelle initiates an intervention. I'm going to call it an intervention around Robin and Robin's emotional state. So she gets on the phone with Ashley and she hints that they need to have an intervention. They need to get the girls together that really care about Robin and they need to sit down and talk some sense into Robin. Giselle says that she's worried about the state of mind that Robin may be in because most people in Robin's position wouldn't make it to the other side. I stopped because I'm like, whoa, what are you saying, Giselle? That's very telling. And if there's more to this story outside of reality television, then I'm concerned for Robin. And Giselle is Robin's sidekick, y'all. So it sounds like there could be way more to this than we know. What is Robin exposing to Giselle that's going on in her life that we don't know? And what in the world is one Dixon doing behind closed doors? Hell, when Giselle said that, I was scared. I was very concerned for Robin as a woman. Anywho, Giselle gets the ladies together at her home. So she gets Sharice together, she gets Ashley herself, and then they invite Robin. And of course, you can tell they coordinated this so that Robin could uh, arrive a bit later than the ladies, right? So they got the game plan, they have some drinks and snacks set up, and Robin finally arrives. And as they were sitting around prior to Robin getting there, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna say it again. I was scared because I'm like, what the hell is going on? What is so serious that we're not seeing off the screen that y'all really have to sit down and have this emotional and mental health intervention, right? Without a professional being there. Let's just pause there. Bravo, without a professional being there. So, anywho, Giselle is saying that to her, Robin has become somewhat numb to Juan's antics. Child, what antics? What's going on, Robin? Because we know, to me, it's obvious that one has extracurricular activities going on outside the home. So, outside of that, Giselle, is there anything else that you could possibly be talking about? Because from the outside looking in, it seems as if Robin has signed up for this. Robin's a big girl. And if she has an alleged open relationship with her husband, that's her problem. So, is there something else that we are not being made privy to? Something more sinister? Okay. Because whatever the tea is, and as much as I want to know the tea, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to know it at the expense of Robin's mental health. If what you say is true, Giselle, if she's barely hanging on, I don't want to know her tea. I don't. Not if it's going to cause her to crumble. And I really hope Robin isn't crumbling on the inside, but I feel like she is based on her reaction and her response to the ladies at Giselle's home. Um, do y'all think one is mean to her behind closed doors? Do you feel like there could possibly be more to this story? Is Robin in denial? Has she hit rock bottom when it comes to her mental health? Is Robin living in her truth and the other ladies just need to mind their business? What are your thoughts? I will say this. I want to insert a positive. Overall, I do feel like the women did a really good job as a group of friends rallying around Robin and sharing their own personal stories. There's a lot of times people come, child, under the cloak of checking on you when really they just want to know your business. And the reason why I said they did a really good job because they shared their own troubles. They were open to sharing their own trials and tribulations. So I feel like they did a really good job by inserting their own stories. Poor Robin. Poor Robin. My heart just goes out to Robin. I don't know what's going on with her, but I hope and pray that she really finds the confidence that she needs to start to take better care of herself mentally, physically, and emotionally. But let's shift. Giselle and Jason. Yes, I am here for it. Listen, I love a good old scandal, and I love this combination. Giselle got herself a young man. Yes, yes, and yes. And he seems nice. Listen, I do not have a problem with it. Men do it all the time. And I am living for this, Giselle. I am living for this arrangement. I hope you are having a ball. Literally, enjoy yourself, honey. Let your hair blow in the wind, queen. Um, I see you, Giselle. And come on, y'all. Jason looks good. Jason looks good. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this Giselle and Jason combination, honey? And listen, Grace, Giselle's oldest daughter, Grace is mind blowing, beautiful. She has grown into such a remarkable young lady. I am here for it. Great job, Giselle, raising your children. Honey, Grace looks just like her mother. Child, I don't want to shift to this person, but we're going to have to shift to Candace and Chris. I am not a Candace Bassett fan. I want to put that out there ahead of time. I used to be when she was new on the franchise. I really liked her. I thought she was a great addition. And she has just morphed into this wild card that I do not, nor have I developed a palate for. I just don't. Mm-mm. But anywho, we're going to cover it very briefly. So, Candace and Chris, they have a picnic in a park and they're talking about Candace's gig and what she has. on her plate, her schedule. She has to do this and that, and how she's also upside down in expenses. And what that means, y'all, is although it looks good, it's lights, camera, action, Candace is actually paying for her visibility. She's not producing a profit while on the road. So, what does that mean? She's paying to be in front of y'all's faces. And she's hoping that eventually it would pay off and it will catapult her career. She's pretty much fronting this tour in hopes of taking off. That don't make no sense to me, but okay, I get it. I get it. Anywho, Candace, I want to say this. Candace, do not forget about your husband. Don't forget to check in with your husband. Check in with your husband just like he's checking in with you. Because that entire time that Candace sat there with Chris, the conversation was centered on her tour and her relationship with her friends. And every now and then, ladies, you need to do a pulse check with your men just to see how they're doing. Okay? Let them know that you see him because, ladies, the men need love too. The men need love too, which shifts me to my next conversation, which is a hot ass mess between Mia and Gordon. Poor Gordon. Ah, I don't know whether to laugh or cry because Mia has run that poor man broke. Mia has stressed that poor man onto the couch. She said he sat there for 2 months. You can see it in his face, y'all. Mia said that they went from living in a 10,000 square foot home to 1,500 square feet. Woo, child, that's a huge difference. So now they have this tiny apartment, although beautiful. And it's tiny. When I say tiny, it's tiny compared to what they had, okay? But it's beautiful, beautifully decorated and all of that. So it seems that Gordon's family voted him out of the family business. And Mia and Gordon, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this narrative. Hell, I don't even think they know where they're going with this narrative. But Gordon doesn't seem to know why his family would vote him out the business, okay? And that had to have been hard when you think about working with your family and watching to see everything that you've worked for with your family, and then all of a sudden they slam the door on you. But my common sense leads me to believe there has to be more to this story. Gordon, I don't think they just woke up one day and was like, "You're out of here." There had to have there has to be more to this story. And I have my suspicions, Gordon. Gordon, I don't think they like your wife. I think they pushed you out because they realized that your wife is a gold digger or appears to be a gold digger. Hell, even Gordon shared that Mia didn't believe him and questioned his integrity of why his family would ax him out from the money. Okay. So imagine what Gordon is going through being completely, what is it, exiled from the family's business and then having a wife that's given city girl. But Gordon, this is what you manifested for your life. This is what you wanted. You wanted something young and hot, something that you would be proud to display like a trophy, something that you could carry on your arm. And here's the outcome. Here's the results, right? Men like that don't want women their age because they're too old or they're too this and to that. And this is what you get when the likes of a Mia is done with you. Okay. You want them younger, you want them fun, but baby, as soon as the money runs out, Mia was out the door, child. Mia was out the door. So I'm sorry for you, Gordon, but that's the poison that you pick. Okay. That's the poison that you pick. So it seems like Mia and Gordon are continuing to go through this saga and they've separated, and Gordon has spoken out publicly on social media and feels like Mia has left him because he does not have access to his assets. Sir, you are exactly right. But that's the reality that you created for yourself. So maybe the next time around, you'll get you a nice little lady that likes to drink coffee early in the morning that'll go to bed with you at 8 p.m., wake up on Sunday, cook you some eggs and bacon, and go to church with you.